Whoa. You want to talk about Naruto?
It's going to be the best podcast yet, bro. We're getting into it.
But just real quick, though, like the Oscars, I don't know like what's going to happen, but I do think that YouTube is like a rising, there's like an undercurrent of like, content and create and TikTok, and like there's something happening where kids don't really give a fuck about the Oscars or the Grammys, and everyone's so caught up with like people our age are caught up with like, oh, did you get a nomination or blah blah blah, and when like Rice Gum is just crushing it on fucking YouTube and like doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's grassroots too.
What I'm very,
you know, Rice Gum.
Yeah,
what I'm very interested in is creating a platform, or you know, not creating, but getting having a platform to create narrative art and movies and films and doing ill shit like that, like on YouTube. So like Rice Gum's cool. He's got a lot of subscribers. He's like fun, but like I don't really see anybody doing what I want to do, which is like really making high level.
There's
shorts.
people trying for sure, but they're not.
Be really dope.
They're not achieving it.
Would be dope.
Like imagine it like an Oscar nominated YouTube movie instead of Netflix.
YouTube short.
But I mean, I think Netflix is. I think Netflix is definitely like helping, and that's the first step.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like Mark Duplass just put out this movie Paddleton, which I saw. It's two best friends. One of them has cancer, and it's just basically what they do from the time he finds out he has cancer till the time he dies. And it's just like, it's such a good movie, and I don't see enough of these types of movies on Netflix.
Right.
Like they're my favorite kinds of movies about real life situations, because real life has more drama in it than fiction, you know, like if you just find it, like Good Will Hunting, like there's a massive genre that's being underserved, like the reality drama genre, right. Like Good Will Hunting, like Gus Van Sant type shit. And it's really cool to see Mark Duplass, like my favorite director. He didn't direct this movie, but he started it and he wrote it, and it's a Duplass production. Like he's like my hero, because he's basically doing the indie thing, but he's also obsessed with like creating the magic and the moment and capturing the accident on set, which actually I just watched an Orson Welles documentary, and that's what he was obsessed with right before he died. Troy, you should listen to this because it's kind of fucking amazing. Is like,
Here's on, Troy.
Not necessarily like not having a script, but like using the script almost as like an outline for what's supposed to happen, and slipping into that, the real conversations and like the real, because we've already seen actors say lines really well. We've already seen that, but but what we haven't seen is like this kind of real life people being lit well, and telling and getting into like real, like I think Richard Linklater did it really well with like all the Before Sunrise movies, and you know, these long 15-minute takes where like Ethan Hawke and what's her name are just like having a conversation, and you're like, whoa, this feels like real, you know.
Just like this, like Quentin Tarantino, like dialogue where it's just like goes on.
Well, Quentin Tarantino is like the polar opposite, where it's like,
but it's so good that it feels like that.
And it's so unbelievably calculated. Yeah. Like the reason, like I've watched, I was obsessed with his dialogue, and he said in an interview, like the reason he has a dialogue like that is because he like, it's like when you give medicine to a dog, you like put some treats around it. He's actually feeding you information about the characters, which is like called exposition. Which is kind of like it's like a necessary evil in movies, where someone is saying information about, like they're pretty much telling the viewer something, but they're like pretending to tell each other, right?
Yeah, I gotcha.
So it's like when
character development,
and you're really not supposed to do that in film. It's like you're supposed to show, not tell,
right?
But whatever you're not supposed to do is supposed to do. But like if you ever watch a movie that's like 1,000 years ago, this war happened, and like
Star Wars.
it's like black. Yeah, that's like exposition central.
Right.
What Tarantino does, he's like, he writes such good dialogue that like in like the little things that a character says, and immediately from that conversation, you like, okay, he's that guy and this is this guy.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Which
like
is
when they're talking about giving someone a foot massage.
Yeah, well, and a good example is in Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Orange. Spoiler, Mr. Orange is the cop. If you haven't seen it yet, you're retard. You're fucking retard. But
get out of this podcast.
So they're having that long. I remember watching that with my mom. She's like, "Why are these guys talking so long?" Right? And at the end, they're like, "Who didn't tip?" Right? Because Mr. Pink doesn't want to tip and shit. But then Mr. Orange was like, "Oh, it was Mr. Pink." He ratted out Mr. Pink. No one else ratted out, and he was the rat at the end of the movie. It's like little shit like that. Yeah, dude, he's like super calculated in what he says. And in that scene, he said, in that scene, you know what each character is.
Yeah, because one's talking about the virgin getting fucked, and the other one's like, you know, that's cool. I would like to watch that again and dissect it. But the two scenes I'm thinking about is like the burger, like where he's talking about a Royale with cheese and shit.
That's
so good.
That's about Pulp Fiction.
No, I know, but it's also Tarantino. Or like when he's like, I'm the foot fucking master. Like I'll give a girl a foot massage, blah, blah, blah. And then the other dude is like, yeah, there's something sensual about a foot massage, and like you see kind of the homophobicness in him, and you're realizing that like Sammy's like that suave like player type of dude, and like this other dude, I don't know, you're just getting to know these characters because they're talking in depth about the foot massage,
right?
And then when he's talking about the how they call shit different names in Amsterdam, it's like, dude, they're talking about like a Royale, why they call it a Royale with cheese, and Samuel L. Jackson's just got this elegantness about how he talks, and what's his name is just
John Travolta.
John Travolta's just kind of like, their characters are just being revealed as they're talking about that.
Yeah, but I like what you said too about like how that director that you liked, how he kind of like has like an outline for a script and just kind of lets accidents happen, and I find, at least with any type of art, the best type of art is always made by accident. So like when I'm like making a song or something, doing anything, and I'm making a song, I'll try to make accidents happen all the time and be like, oh, that was dope, that was sick, let me put that in there.
Like we literally just
no accident. It's God, 100%.
Totally. And if you let God in, my sponsor talks to me about me with this a lot. If you're in this place, so it's like we were shooting this scene the other day for the Clout Chasers Anonymous. Did you hear about this?
Sick. I don't know. I love the name,
dude. It's like, I think this could be amazing. We all sat down and we basically had an AA meeting
about clout.
We replaced the word, because we've been getting a lot of like, you're just clout chasers, and we are.
Yeah.
I want views. I want people to listen to the podcast. And I'm not afraid to admit it. So we took it to the next level. I literally had my sponsor come and we read chapter 5 and we replaced alcoholism with clout. And, like, I was like, wait. Cause like when Nate got there, he started talking to my sponsor about like buying clothes. And my sponsor was like, you really spent like $500 on like that off-white
beast
for that off-white sweater. And I was like, wait a second, it's happening. Like the accident is happening. Like they're actually engaged in a real conversation and their real characters are coming out in that. And I just was like so obsessed with like them not doing that because we were changing the battery and I wanted to like get that.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm so obsessed with capturing these moments that like even Troy was noticing that I was like trying too hard almost to get them to happen. But I just think that if we all get on the same page about that, like I think that we can create, that was I think not the first step, but like a really good step in like executing this dream I have of sort of having this cinematic reality improv.
Yeah, absolutely.
But not necessarily like funny, but yeah, it would be funny, but like it could slip into some drama easy.
Right.